Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is being brought to you and sponsored by you guys. You know why? Because you guys actually helped me make this decision to do this modification. Well, it chose the company to do this modification. I was overdue for this modification because I had a little incident. Well, you guys remember, right?
Dude, watch you don't
We're out at the JP shop, as per the usual. We live here. This is our place. This is our home. But yeah, we're gonna pull this crappy bent up stock JLU Rubicon bumper off. Do a little bit of body work because, as you can see, the bumper actually damaged this quarter here, this rear quarter, and sand down and paint it. I got some paint from Jeff D'Ambrosio Auto Group of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Another supporter of the channel, our boy Joe D'Ambrosio. If you guys are ever in need for a new vehicle, new Jeep, or OEM parts, make sure you contact Joe over at Jeff D'Ambrosio Auto Group of Downingtown. But that's enough jibber jabber. Let's get this Jeep in there. Let's get this bumper tore down, and I'll show you guys what I got. We went with the LoD bumper and tire carrier. They do an excellent job in packing their stuff, as you can see. Spray foam, everything. It was fun. So if you guys get one of these bumpers, open it up outside because it's gonna make a huge mess. But yeah, here we go, man. All beefy, heavy duty. Thanks to you guys. I mean, you guys helped a lot with this because I was stuck between two, Warren and LoD. I went with LoD, but we're gonna get this thing installed. Tracy's gonna get the rear bumper off the Ruby Beast, and then we're gonna get this thing installed, and we're gonna wire up some new lighting, and we'll let you know if there's any issues or hiccups along the way. And we have to do some body work too, guys, some body work. Put all new LED lights throughout the whole entire shop, and it is super, super bright here, so we shouldn't have any more issues with lighting during videoing and photography.
All right, this is gonna be the quick time lapse of taking Steve's bumper off. We're currently trying to get this big old dent out, and down here, we're trying to get that out. We have a heater heating up the paint so it doesn't crack too bad. For some of you people that don't know, the reason why that is there is because this piece of Steve's bumper, when he hit a rock, smashed up into the upper, or into the lower piece of this quarter panel. So I'm gonna try my best to get that straightened out. Push this back out.
Brought all the guys lunch, you know, and Tracy's got pretty far with the job so far. He's got the bumper completely removed. The taillight's out. Why is the taillight out?
I'm trying to fix your boo-boo.
Yeah, a little boo-boo right there. And that boo-boo would have never happened if we didn't have a stock bumper on there. The stock bumper is the one that damaged our quarter.
It's the bumper's fault.
It is the bumper. Well, all right. I would say it's 50-50. But if we would have had the LoD bumper on there, that wouldn't have happened. Try to pull this dent as much as we can. You know, it's not gonna look pretty, but you're not gonna see it anyway. Then we're gonna sand it down. I got, like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, we do have some color matched spray paint that I got from D'Ambrosio Auto Group. We're gonna spray paint it, make it look nice. More for rust mitigation, future rust mitigation. We just wanna avoid that if possible. So, I mean, again, it's not gonna look pretty, but we don't want it rusting out either.
It just
and
sucks.
the bumper's
There's
gonna cover it.
so many layers of metal.
Many layers of metal down there. Oh, and a leaf. Can we get the leaf out?
We just sanded everything, scuffed it up just enough for the paint to adhere properly, and then I cleaned it off with some wax and grease remover. Get all any waxes or any grease out from anything that you're trying to paint, so it actually comes out good. It doesn't have any real fish eyes or anything.
This isn't
a professional job.
Yeah, we're not making it look like it's absolutely mint and perfect. We're just trying to protect it and make it look somewhat decent. Again, you're not going to see most of this with the bumper covering it. So, but if you're going to do it right to a certain extent, right?
Sure.
And the paint code for our Jeep is actually PDN. PDN. If anyone wants to know what Stinger Gray is, PDN. Yep, it's going to get it all taped up, and then we're going to start spraying it. It's always important to go over and make sure you have all the parts that come with, parts and hardware that come with your bumper or whatever you're installing. So we're gonna go through it real quick.
Our flush mount box, license plate relocation bracket, bumper sensors because this vehicle does have sensors in the rear, our backup camera, our third brake light, and this one is our hardware.
All the hardware.
This is the plate that will go to your tailgate and then connect it to the swing arm.
And then this right here, guys, is something from Headlight Revolution, a supporter of the channel, a longtime supporter of the channel, and we're gonna show you this in a little bit. During the installation, we're gonna install this as well. Man, lots of stuff here, lots of stuff. Oh, and we also have Rigid Industries D-Series lights. So we're gonna be installing these on the bumper as well. And when you spec out your bumper, you have multiple different types of options with these bumpers. You can go flush mount, you can do the dualies where they actually have like a pedestal mount where the light mounts onto. You can not have any lights at all if you don't want them, but I want lights because we're gonna wire those lights into the upfitter switches in the Jeep. First thing we're actually wiring to our upfitter switches will be these lights. It's pretty cool. That, however, we're gonna wire to our reverse light. So it comes on automatically with reverse light. Tag lights right here.
They got stuff labeled.
Yeah.
Well, these are the bearings for the swing arm.
This swing arm can accommodate a 40-inch tire, and that's one of the reasons why I went with this bumper setup. It's always important to have a nice bolt pan available. I also have something called grip mat. I'm trying to sneak over to my toolbox. Grip mat, grip mat.
I don't want to get it dirty.
You can actually clean the bottom of this and actually put it on the hood of a car, and it won't scratch it. Safe. But yeah, I love the grip mats.
That's what it on a bolt pan is.
That's a lot of hardware.
And we're not done yet. There's some more, but I won't break up this hardware. Oh, this is a sensor kit. It tells you when they were packaged and who they were packaged by. There's an initial and a date.
Oh, that's
this
for
is
the
your
camera.
kit.
Yeah, it's the camera kit.
That's what I was thinking.
Enough zips.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, look, and they give you the good braided stuff.
Yeah, buddy. Got everything out of the boxes now, guys. This is what it all looks like, all the goodies. A lot of stuff here.
Steve, this doesn't have paper instructions.
No, it doesn't. They're saving the environment. It's all online.
You still looking at those 37s over there?
They're not 37s though.
He needs 37s.
Yes, Goodrich's are.
Yeah.
I told Keith, I said, if we order a set and just have it here for the next time you come in, you'll definitely get them.
I was just talking about them. So it was between those and those, and I'm gonna go with them.
Kristen and Joey over there pulling the sensors out of the stock bumper. And Tracy's actually gonna pull our Teraflex rear tire adapter so you can fit a 37-inch tire on your JL. If you guys are interested in this, contact the JP shop. If you have them, you pay them to install it, it will be free. But you gotta pay them to install it, and you gotta buy one other part.
What?
Yep, I want them to buy one other part. I want them to buy something from the JP shop. Pay you guys to install it, and it's free.
You say so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a pretty good deal. Free, but you gotta pay for them to install it. But that's free. And you have to buy one other part. Doesn't matter what that part is. It could be anything. Could be a cold air induction from Volant or S&B. Could be a Corsa exhaust system. Hint, hint, hint. Corsa exhaust system. You know, it could be anything. JP shop will get you hooked up. What do you think, Keith? We're taking off this Teraflex adapter. I said to the viewers, I said, listen, if you come here to the JP shop, pay you guys to install it, it's free. But they got to buy one other part too. It doesn't matter what it is.
I don't know.
But they got to pay you to install it. What do you think?
Whatever Steve says.
All right, guys, so we're pulling the sensors out and we're actually numbering them. And to get these things out, you're gonna, release the locking tab, pull the actual harness off of it, and then you're gonna basically get a screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver or pick, pry down on each side, and then the sensor will come out. And then there's some push clips on the actual sensor holder. You push that in, separate them, and then they go out the other side. But we're gonna number them from passenger side, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, Jesse's getting his diff covers powder coated, so am I, with our friends over at GRC Blasting. Stay tuned for that video. I'm actually quite interested to see how that goes. I've never seen powder coating in person. I'm gonna label it number 2, a little bit. Then you just separate that, and it should slide out the front of the bumper. Should. There you go. I'm just gonna repeat the process with the rest of them. 2 more. Now that we got all the sensors out of the bumper, the harness is out. As you see, this bumper has an incorporated hitch already.
Oh, I gotta put the...
So Tracy's removing the stock hitch before we bolt up the new bumper. We also had to put the sensors into the new bumper first before we put the bumper in. I forgot to mention that. Just be careful removing those sensors. They can be a little tricky. And they're expensive, so you don't want to break them.
Break them.
No, you don't want to break them. You don't want to break them.
You gotta pay for it anyway.
No, you don't want to break them. I'll have to go back over to D'Ambrosio's and get sensors then.
I bet you they keep it in stock.
I'm sure they do.
Everybody else breaks.
Although they didn't keep a taillight in stock. It took me a couple days to get that. But I did get a taillight. They probably do keep them in stock now. I would imagine. I'm not the only one blousing taillights. Maybe locally. The bumper is up and installed. And if you look on the other side here, we went with the stubby. They do have a full bumper that will actually come all the way to here. But in case I ever went larger, went up to 40s, always plan for the future. I didn't want to have to cut it or have to worry about the tire hitting it. So we wanted the Shorty. You can't see any of the damage that we repaired. It looks good. It looks like there's no problem there. The XTR LP We're gonna be able to install this, and I'll show you where. We're gonna wire this guy directly to the reverse lights, so it'll only come on with the reverse lights. Unlike the rigid industry lights that we're gonna be installing here. We're gonna mount it right here below the license plate. Everything's been wired up for these lights. We spliced them directly into the factory wiring, which is attached to the bumper, and there's a main harness going to the bumper. So if you ever have to take the bumper back off, you just unplug that and it will come off in one whole piece. We're gonna finish installing the bumper bolts. We're gonna mount the trailer, hook up, even though we'll probably never haul a trailer with this. Nice thing with this, guys, as you can see, it's hard to, I only have one hand, but it actually comes with a plug. So you can just make this to whatever length that you need to and unplug it. I like that. I like that setup. I'll have the link for all this stuff, including the bumper, all the lights, in the video description. 12 bolts to bolt the rear bumper to the frame of the Ruby Beast. We got the rear door plate mounted to the tailgate of the Ruby Beast. As you can see, Joey's got the recessed Rigid Industries light pods installed with the little LoD plates. They're, again, guys, they are specific. You can do different types of lights for this area right here, these cutouts, or you don't even have to do any lights. I think you just do a blockout plate. And then Joey's wiring these lights up together. He's gonna splice them in, and he's gonna run a main wire harness that he's gonna run from back here to the front of the Ruby Beast, and then we're gonna wire them directly to the upfitter switches. And then right now, Tracy is actually packing the bearings for the tire carrier. Yeah, it's really, get out of here. It's really, really messy, but so far, all but all, pretty straightforward, nothing unusual, right, Tracy? The hardest part was probably taking the sensors out of the old bumper.
Yes.
To be honest with you, it's mostly just nuts and bolts, washers, nothing too crazy. The wiring's pretty simple and basic as well, especially if you have upfitter switches. But if you don't have upfitter switches, you can also order a Rough Country MLC6 multi-light controller 6 from Rough Country through the jpshop.net.
6 stands for how many switches there are.
Yes. Looking good though. I'm very happy with this bumper. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, I'm liking it even more and more.
I have grease in my goatee.
Oh man. Oh, on your lip too, bud.
I know.
But he's using AMSOIL, guys, and if you guys need any AMSOIL,
So great, I wanted to
the JP shop is a retailer through BSynthetics.com. BSynthetics.com is me, and if you purchase your AMSOIL through me, you help support the channel at the same time. All that money comes back into the channel so I can continue to make content. Helps me out. I'm never gonna put a PayPal account up and say, here, send me money via PayPal, donate me money. I'm not gonna do it, but I wanna offer you guys stuff that you can benefit from and help support me at the same time. So that's the only thing I'll ever ask of you. Just if you're gonna purchase AMSOIL, please do it through me. It does help. If you're gonna order any type of truck upgrades or Jeep upgrades, order that through the jpshop.net. If it's not on the website, call them, they'll get you set up. They can get you anything you need.
be the demise of some bearings.
Yeah, there's some metal shavings in there we need to clean up.
Yes, there is. And if
There's
you look,
actually a spot for reserve fitting.
yeah, that's where it came from. So
Okay.
you want to make sure you try and get all your metal shavings out of here. There's also races pressed in here already. You can use a blowgun, which I'll probably do right after this, but I'm trying to make sure I wipe all this out. Because if you keep any metal in here, it could potentially get into your bearings and make things a little rough.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. When you are installing your tire carrier, you're going to notice in the instructions that the bearings have the same part numbers There are two different bearings. There's a larger bearing at the bottom because tapered, it's bigger at the bottom. So your larger bearing is gonna go on the bottom and your smaller bearing is gonna go on the top. Just mental note, don't make the mistake we did. You have a 50% chance of getting it wrong. Well,
We got it wrong.
we got it wrong, so. To show you, we got our XTRLP light installed. We spliced it right into the reverse wires, which is, you got your ground is your black wire there, and then you have a white wire with a yellow stripe. It's actually like an orange stripe going through it. That's your reverse wire. Just doing some final adjustments with the actual carrier. You got a bump stop here and one up here. You're gonna adjust a little bit, and then you got your quick release. And it doesn't say to do this with the instructions, but in pure Jeep shop fashion, we're gonna put some anti-seize on the quick release because we don't want that to seize up if we ever need to adjust it again in the future.
This is not meant to be flush with the bumper.
Well,
It was in bold.
That makes sense. You want pressure on both of them, but definitely that bottom. Because if you don't, this is gonna rattle, bounce around, stuff's gonna come loose. This is actually something I see a lot. You know, even with the Teraflex carrier, you don't wanna mount the tire so it's not touching this bump stop right here because it's gonna rattle loose and your lug nuts will actually loosen up over time and you could potentially lose your tire. I see it all the time when I go off-roading as well. Just make sure your tire is pressed up against that. And there's plenty of adjustment with that Teraflex.
It's a real
tire
pressing
carrier.
matter.
Yeah, it's just a lot of back and forth. This is probably about the 4th time back and forth doing this and the tire's not even on here yet. So we'll probably have to do some fine adjustments again, but with these pads, they're pretty easy to adjust.
So this is the extension wire for the camera that's over there. Because you have to extend it, because these operate separately now. So you need your camera wire to be long enough to go all the way through. But if you see, this is the extension wire. This is our factory wire. These are the same plugs. So what I had to do was kind of do some digging. And if you look, this plug is what plugs into here. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to take this loom apart. You're gonna have to take your pink wire, your camera wire out, so then you can run it through this factory grommet and then through in here. So it's clean looking, but I could not find anywhere in the instructions that said that on their website.
So basically we're eliminating this one altogether and we're gonna replace it with the extension. All right, yep.
Hiccups.
Yep, hiccups, but working through them, guys, and we're letting you guys all know about it when you do your installation. Joey ran the wire for the Rigid Industries flush mount pods all the way up to our upfitter switches, which are spliced right there. We got it set up to battery because you can program them, which is very nice. So we got it set to battery, not ignition. We're officially done. It took about 7 hours with a few little hiccups along the way, but everything is perfect and we're happy with it. I'm happy with it.
Show them the lights.
Yeah, we'll show them do you want to show them the lights? Yeah, we'll show them the lights.
Go ahead, turn it.
Let's show the lights. There we go. Man, that thing is bright. Nothing better than a little bit of extra lighting when you're backing up at night. And then, turn on the other ones there, Tracy. Look at those guys. Woohoo! That's gonna be nice at night, for sure. If you're not doing the carrier, you're doing the bumper, it's a piece of cake, but once you add the carrier into it,
It
it
all
makes it.
depends on what options you go with also, because you gotta remember we also had our sensors,
Yep,
which I'm gonna let you know your tire does set off your sensors.
great.
All red.
Are you serious? Oh, that's great.
So it's,
So we have to move the tire up.
no,
No?
that's what it is.
What do you mean? It's not just what it is.
No, it is what it is.
Move it
No.
up, it's still gonna set it off.
If there is a solution for it, we'll figure it out, but right now it's activating all the sensors.
Yeah.
He's just gonna join the video. Love the appearance of LoD's bumpers. This right here, Maisie loves it too. This right here is their Shorty series. They do have a full-size rear bumper, which will go all the way out just underneath your rear fender. I love how you have different options for the lights. You can go flush mount, you can go with the dually series. It's like a pod. There's all kinds of different options, or you don't have to add lights at all. You can just put a plate in there. I like how on the JLs, you know, with the 2018 up Wranglers, they relocated the license plate to the bumper. This gives you an option. It has your lights here. We added this from Headlight Revolution, and yes, I know I'm gonna take this apart again. I'm actually gonna heat shrink to protect this wire, but that thing is super bright, as you saw in the video. You got your rear camera included. Back to the license plate, they also have a license plate mounting bracket that you can mount your license plate to your tire carrier. I just wanted it down there. I like it down there. You have a plethora of options, which we will be adding to the Jeep in a future date. You have an actual cargo tray that can go up here. You can mount it. You also have side panels that mount into the side of the tire carrier right here, that you can add jerry cans to each side. You can add a shovel. You can add a CB radio to this mount right here. There's just a plethora of options that we're going to go through, because I am going to add jerry cans to this side. I am going to add the cargo tray for the top for our trips, and I'm also might add a bicycle carrier, because you can add a two bike bicycle carrier to the rear. You can add a high lift jack, which I'm going to go a different route. I'm not going to add a high lift jack mount. Unfortunately, you know, because of the current situation here in Pennsylvania, we're unable to go off-roading. I wanted to do this and get some off-roading video of this bumper off-road, because this right here, whoo, having this cutout going up, that's going to give us a lot more clearance on the trails. Again, I really love the appearance of this. Now, Heather,
that's me.
Could you open the tailgate? Listen to how smooth that is, guys. It comes right open. Was that hard at all?
It was not.
And that's a 37-inch tire on the back there.
I got guns though.
No more stress on the tailgate whatsoever at all. And that's what we need to do, because that 37-inch tire was making our tailgate scream. If you had to, if you wanted to do a quick release and you just wanted to move the tire carrier over, you just undo your quick release, and then you can shut that, and then there you go. Have this open if you need it to. Get to the rear of it if you want to install your racks, different attachments that you want to do. It all mounts in here. I'm doing this with one hand, guys. That's how easy it is to reattach it. And I'll have Heather just go ahead and shut it, just to demonstrate how easy it is to shut. And all your attachments could be on there at the same time. You don't have to take anything off to open your tailgate. There's only one little drawback, and it's if you have a wide tire. I have a 13.5-inch wide tire. If you have rear sensors, your center rear sensors down here in the bottom, they're gonna see that tire. I raised, because you can raise your tire, I raised this tire as high as I could possibly go, along with the third brake light, and we're still hitting on those two rear sensors. Nothing you can do about it, guys, if you're running a wide tire. If I was running a 12.5-inch wide tire, probably would have been okay just moving the tire up, but this bad boy is wide. She's got some girth. I love the LoD off-road destroyer bumpers, and I'm going to be putting one on the front, and we're going to be adding attachments, and we'll be putting to the test on the trails, and I'll bring you guys all along for that. As you already know, we have a playlist for the Ruby Beast and the JP shop for all the installs and the wheeling videos. And if you notice, that's a different color. That matches something else on the Jeep, and that will be the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're stopping by for the first time, make sure you smash tap, do something to that subscribe button. Turn on all those notifications,
Ding, ding.
especially now at this time. We need all the help we can get. Share the videos with your friends, social media. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check out allbeastprojects.com. If you want this LoD bumper, destroyer bumper, hit up the jpshop.net. It's not on their website, but they are a dealer, and they can get you set up over the phone, or you can set up an appointment to have it done at the shop. We love you guys. We will see you on the next upload.